5 things to do in Panama City. Hi, I'm Lori, a senior solo traveler, and I recently spent a couple days in Panama City. There are 5 things I would recommend doing if you are planning a visit. At the end of the video, I'll share a few tips on getting around. Number 1, the Panama Canal. I transited through the canal as part of a Windstar cruise, and it was spectacular. I have posted a video on the journey and have left a link in the description. However, if it is too expensive for you to transit through on a boat, there are other options. Only 20 minutes from downtown Panama City is the Miraflores Visitors Center. I saw it as I was traveling through on the ship. It is a large and interesting structure that sits right next to the Miraflores locks and provides an excellent viewpoint for watching the locks in action. There are several ways to get to the Visitors Center from the city, including by group tour, Uber, taxi, bus, or rental car. I have left a link in the description for transportation options. Number 2, Casco Viejo. Casco Viejo translates to Old Town, and it is the historic district of Panama City. I spent a full day there and would highly recommend it. The buildings in the district are beautifully restored. The architecture is colorful and detailed, so it's fun just to walk the streets. There are 7 historic and beautifully maintained churches, which are certainly worth a visit. And there are several plazas and sitting areas to relax and enjoy the surroundings. Of course, there are no shortage of shops and restaurants, so there are plenty of places to spend your money. I especially like the Esteban Huertas Walk with its overhead flowering trellis, ocean views, and fun vendors lining the pathway. The Presidential Palace and Panama Canal Museum are also in this district. Just know that the Presidential Palace is closed on Saturday and Sunday, and the museum is closed on Mondays. Number 3, the Biomuseo. The Biomuseo is a fantastical museum designed by the famous architect Frank Gehry. It focuses on the natural history of Panama, whose isthmus was evidently formed very recently in geologic time. The museum is located on the Amadora Causeway and is only a 10-minute Uber ride from downtown Panama City. The museum highlights both Panama's natural and cultural history, emphasizing the role of humans in the 21st century. The design of the museum was stretched out in multiple levels and spaces. In each room, there was a museum guide that introduced themselves, gave a very brief introduction to the contents of the room, and let you know they were available for questions. I'd never seen this at a museum before and loved that after viewing the displays, you had a resource if you had further inquiries. I had 3 favorite spaces: a room with several aquariums, a room with video displays in 3 dimensions, and this room with life-size animal and dinosaur replicas. The entire museum is very colorful and informative. It also had some lovely outdoor spaces. There's a cafe where you can sit and view the Gulf of Panama and the Bridge of the Americas. Number 4, bike ride on the Calcada de Amadora. As I said, I took an Uber to the museum, which was on the Calcada de Amadora. On the way, I saw hordes of bicycle riders cruising along the bike path towards the islands at the end of the causeway. It was hot that day, so most of these riders had been up early to accomplish the ride, and I was witnessing the end of their journey. By the time I finished going through the museum, the bicycle riders had dissipated. I wish I would have discovered this earlier, as I think it would have been spectacular. There are numerous little benches and scenic spots along the way. I did some research and learned that you could rent a bike and ride it just one way. I would recommend renting from the Panama side and dropping the bike off on the islands. There's a wonderful marina at the end where it would be nice to treat yourself to good food and rest after your morning exertion. The Ubers are inexpensive in Panama, so you could just Uber back to the city. Number 5, explore Cinta Costera. Cinta Costera is a large urban park that runs along the Panama Bay waterfront. It is a popular recreational area offering scenic views of the Pacific Ocean and the city skyline. It includes features like gardens, bike paths, sports fields, and lookouts. The long park starts in the upscale Payatia neighborhood and ends in Casco Viejo. I didn't walk the entire park, but walked a long distance through its midsection. It has walking, jogging, and bike paths, although it was quite hot out when I visited, so there weren't too many people exerting themselves that day. There are some sporadic sculptures and monuments along the path, places to rent bikes, and of course some photo op spots. If you want some wonderful views of the city shoreline, this is the place to go. So those are 5 things I would recommend. A few things you might want to know before visiting Panama City. First of all, the Panamanian currency is the US dollar, so there is no need to exchange money if you are coming from the US. Regarding transportation, Ubers were quite inexpensive when I was there. I took several rides, most costing around $3 to $4. I wouldn't recommend the hop-on, hop-off bus. When I was walking out of the Biomuseo, there was a hop-on bus right outside the entrance. I spontaneously decided to hop on it and found it to be very disappointing. It was $22, and the most interesting area it drove through was the area I was already in on the Calcada de Amadora. After I left this area, the bus drove through some more depressed neighborhoods and then into the high-rise district. I think your money would be better spent selecting specific destinations and then taking a bus or Uber there. And finally, I need to talk about the heat. I am from Arizona and am usually not fazed by heat, but I have to say that it was pretty intense. It was the combination of high temperatures with high humidity that slowed down my normal pace of touring. I was there in March, which isn't the hottest time of the year, so be prepared if you travel there during the summer months. So I hope this information is helpful if you are planning a trip to Panama. As always, if you have questions, feel free to ask in the comments section. I have left links to more videos from this Caribbean and Panama trip in the description, as well as links to the Senior Solo Travel website and the Travel Facebook forum where you can interact with other travelers. And if you'd like to follow my senior and solo travel journeys, please like and subscribe. Next stop, Tavira, Portugal.